All right, so you've got a cybersecurity exam breathing down your neck. Don't even worry about it. You've come to the right place. We are going to blitz through the absolute core concepts you need to know to write some really solid answers. No fluff, no wasted time, just the good stuff. Let's dive in. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the absolute basics, the core building blocks of cybersecurity. Then we'll get to know the adversaries, the cyber criminals themselves. From there, we'll dissect how they actually pull off an attack, look at their favorite techniques, and then wrap it all up with how we can build our digital defenses. See how it all builds on itself? It's the perfect structure to have in your head for the exam.
First up, the core building blocks. Seriously, think of these as the unbreakable foundation of everything else we're going to talk about. Just about every exam question you could possibly get will tie back to these principles in some way. So knowing them cold? Yeah, that's non-negotiable. First is confidentiality, and it's exactly what it sounds like, keeping secrets secret. It's all about preventing anyone who shouldn't have access to data from getting it. The perfect real-world example? WhatsApp. Their end-to-end encryption means that even WhatsApp themselves can't read your messages. For your exam, the two key words to remember here are encryption and access controls.
Okay, next up is integrity. This one's all about trust. It's making sure that the data you're looking at is accurate and that nobody has messed with it. You know when you download a big software update and it has that checksum or hash value? That's integrity in action. It's verifying that the file you downloaded is the exact file the developers intended. The key techniques here are hashing and digital signatures.
And the third pillar of what we call the CIA triad is availability. I mean, what good is data if you can't get to it when you need it, right? It's all about making sure systems are up and running. Think about cloud services like Amazon Web Services. They have data centers all over the world, so if a tornado hits one in Ohio, everything just keeps working. That's redundancy, and it's a key part of availability.
Okay, this is a big one. Authentication. This is the system's way of asking, are you really who you say you are? It's the bouncer at the door checking your ID. And it generally relies on three types of factors. Something you know, like a password, something you have, like your phone getting a one-time code, and something you are, like your fingerprint. Your banking app texting you a code is a perfect example of this. So, if authentication is proving who you are to get in the door, authorization is what you're actually allowed to do once you're inside. They sound similar, but they're totally different. In a hospital's computer system, a doctor is authorized to view and edit patient records. A receptionist might be authenticated to the same system, but is only authorized to view appointment schedules. Same system, very different permissions.
All right, our final core concept, and it's a bit of a mouthful, is non-repudiation. All this means is that you can't deny doing something you did. It creates proof. The best example for an exam is a digital receipt you get from an online store. It's undeniable proof for both you and the seller that a transaction happened. This is often locked in using, you guessed it, digital signatures.
So we've got that foundation firmly in place. We know the principles we're trying to protect. Now, let's move on to Section 2 and meet the adversaries, the people who are actively trying to break all those principles we just talked about. We need to understand who they are and, just as importantly, why they do what they do.
Okay, you're going to want to pay close attention here, because this is a classic exam question. What's the difference between a threat and a vulnerability? A threat is the what, the potential danger, like a skilled hacker. A vulnerability is the how. It's the weakness, the open window they can climb through, like unpatched software. And here's the magic formula for your answer. Risk is what happens when a threat exploits a vulnerability. Remember that. Another key distinction you'll want to know is all about motivation. You have technocrime on one hand, which is all about financial gain or spying. Think stealing 1 million credit card numbers. Then you have techno-vandalism. This is more about causing chaos or making a statement, like a group hacking a government website and plastering their logo all over it. The crucial difference, the thing you need to write down, is the intent. So who are these attackers? Well, we can pretty much group them into three main types. You've got your type 1s, who are often in it for recognition or bragging rights. Think hobby hackers or activist groups. Then there's type 2, who are motivated by big money or national ideology. These are your serious organized crime groups and even state-sponsored teams. And finally, type 3, the insiders. These can be disgruntled employees looking for revenge or even corporate spies. Okay, we know the rules of the game, and we know the players. Now, let's take a look at their playbook in Section 3, the anatomy of an attack.
You see, sophisticated cyber attacks aren't just random acts of chaos. Oh no, they follow a very methodical, step-by-step process.
Think of it like a heist movie. Step 1 is reconnaissance. The attacker is just quietly gathering information, seeing what they can find out publicly. Step 2, they get a little louder with a network probe, actively scanning for open doors and windows. Step 3 is gaining access. They've found a vulnerability and they exploit it to get inside. Step 4, they capture the network, spreading out to control systems and find the valuables. And the final, critical step, number 5, is covering their tracks, deleting logs and hiding any evidence they were ever there.
All right, moving on to Section 4. We've seen the 5-step plan. Now let's open up the toolbox and look at an attacker's key techniques. Knowing the stages is one thing, but knowing the specific tools they use to pull it off, that's what gets you the A+. We're going to focus on a few really high-impact ones you'll definitely see on your exam.
First and foremost, let's talk about social engineering. This is, hands down, one of the most effective techniques out there. Why? Because it doesn't hack code, it hacks people. It's the art of manipulating someone into breaking the rules or giving up confidential information. It exploits our natural human tendency to trust, and attackers know that people are very often the weakest link in the entire security chain. And what's the most common form of social engineering? Phishing. I guarantee you've seen dozens of these in your own inbox. An attacker sends a fake email that looks like it's from your bank or from Netflix or your university, trying to trick you. They create a sense of urgency or fear to get you to click a link and enter your password on a fake login page. It's simple, but it is brutally effective.
Okay, let's switch from psychology to technology and talk about proxy servers and anonymizers. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. A proxy is simply a middleman. Instead of your computer talking directly to a website, it talks to the proxy, and the proxy talks to the website for you. They have plenty of legitimate uses, but for an attacker, they are a cloak of invisibility.
So, how exactly does a criminal use a proxy? Well, for one, it completely hides their real location, which makes them incredibly difficult for law enforcement to trace. They can also use chains of proxies to launch attacks from thousands of different IP addresses, bypassing security blocks and making it look like the attack is coming from all over the world. It all ties back to that final stage of an attack, right? Covering their tracks.
We've covered the core principles, we've met the criminals, and we've looked at their playbook. It's time for our final section, building our digital defenses. This is the good guys playbook. This is how we protect our systems.
The absolute first line of defense for any network is the firewall. The security guard analogy is perfect. It stands at the gateway to your network, checking the ID of every single piece of data trying to get in or out. Based on a set of security rules you define, it decides what to allow and what to block. It is absolutely fundamental.
And this slide breaks down how a firewall actually does its job. A basic one can do simple packet filtering, just looking at addresses and ports. A smarter one does stateful inspection, keeping track of active conversations. And the really advanced ones can perform deep packet inspection, where they're literally opening up the data packets to look for malicious code. These are fantastic keywords to drop in an exam answer.
Okay, so what can you do? This stuff isn't just for the exam. This is for your actual everyday digital life. Just follow the netizen's survival mantra. Use strong, unique passwords for everything and get a password manager. Please enable two-factor authentication wherever you can. Be paranoid about suspicious links and emails. Keep your software updated, use a firewall, and for goodness sakes, back up your important files. This is Practical Security 101.
And there you have it. We've covered the core principles, the attacker's playbook, and our own defenses. So I'm going to leave you with one final thought to chew on as you study. Now that you know the whole playbook, which threat do you honestly think is harder to defend against? A super sophisticated, complex technical exploit, or a simple, everyday human mistake? Think about that. You've got all the knowledge you need. You're going to do great. Good luck.